A genuine relationship begins with a simple, human truth: people want to feel valued. When you meet someone, let your first aim be to understand rather than to impress. Look into their eyes, listen with your full attention, and show that you are truly interested in what matters to them. When people sense that kind of sincerity, they open up naturally, without effort or fear. Use names warmly and often. A person's name is the most personal sound in their world, and remembering it tells them they are more than a passing face to you. Let your curiosity guide the conversation. Ask questions that invite stories, not just answers. Encourage others to speak about their experiences, their goals, their joys, and even their struggles. Every individual wants to feel heard, and every time you offer that gift, you strengthen the invisible thread between you. Appreciation is another cornerstone. Genuine appreciation, never flattery, has the power to lift spirits and build trust. Notice what people do well, what makes them unique, and what contributions they bring. Speak your appreciation sincerely and specifically. When people feel recognized, they gravitate toward the source of that warmth. Conflicts and disagreements will come, but they do not have to damage the bond. Approach them with kindness, patience, and a willingness to see the world through the other person's eyes. Admit your mistakes quickly and without reservation. This humility disarms tension and creates room for understanding. A. When others see that you care more about the relationship than about being right, they will meet you with the same generosity. Always leave people feeling better than when you found them. A kind word, a moment of attention, or a small gesture can transform someone's day. Genuine relationships grow not from grand acts, but from consistent, thoughtful moments that show you care. When you make others feel important, valued, and understood, you build bonds that endure, inspire, and enrich every part of life. And as you move through life, remember that genuine relationships are not built in the moments when everything is easy, but in the quiet, often unseen choices you make every day. It is the gentle patience you offer when someone is struggling to express themselves. It is the willingness to wait, to be present, to give people space when they need it and closeness when they crave it. It is the simple act of remembering small details: their favorite book, the project they're excited about, the challenge they mentioned last week. These tiny acts of care weave themselves into something lasting. People bloom in the light of acceptance. When you allow others to be themselves without pressure or judgment, you create an environment where trust can grow. Many individuals spend much of their lives feeling like they must guard their thoughts or emotions. When you offer a place where they don't have to hide, you become not just a companion but a refuge. And people never forget those who made them feel safe enough to be real. One of the most overlooked skills in building genuine relationships is the ability to celebrate others without comparison or envy. When someone shares good news, let your enthusiasm rise to meet theirs. When success comes their way, allow your happiness to be pure and untainted by insecurity. Uh, People are deeply sensitive to the difference between polite acknowledgement and wholehearted joy. If you can develop the rare habit of rejoicing fully in the triumphs of others, you will earn a place in their hearts that cannot be bought or demanded. Sometimes, genuine relationships require you to stretch beyond your comfort. They ask you to apologize first, to forgive when it is difficult, or to speak kindly when irritation would be easier. They require the courage to say, "Tell me what you're feeling," or "Help me understand," especially in moments when emotions run high. They ask for vulnerability, which may feel risky, but it is through vulnerability that connection deepens. When you share your fears, your hopes, your imperfect thoughts, you open a door for others to do the same. In the course of these relationships, you will encounter people who are different from you, different in background, in temperament, in dreams, and in how they see the world. Instead of trying to mold them into a reflection of yourself, approach them with curiosity. Ask what shaped them, what values they hold dear, what ambitions spark their energy. When you take the time to understand their story, you begin to see not just the surface of who they are, but the rich personal history underneath. This understanding builds empathy, and empathy is one of the foundational stones of any meaningful bond. Honesty is another essential ingredient. Not the harsh, sharp edged honesty that wounds, but the kind that is rooted in respect. Speak the truth gently, especially when the truth might sting. Let your words be guided not by the impulse to correct, but by the desire to uplift. People trust those whose honesty comes wrapped in compassion. If you can speak with both sincerity and sensitivity, you will become a person others turn to, not because they must, but because they want to. There will also be times when your role in a genuine relationship is not to offer advice or solutions, but simply to be present. Many people long for a listener more than a fixer. When a friend carries a burden too heavy to articulate, sometimes the greatest gift you can offer is silence. The kind of silence that says, "You are not alone. I am here with you." Such presence has a power deeper than words can express. It reminds people that even in their most vulnerable moments, they are worthy of companionship. Another crucial aspect of building genuine relationships is consistency. People learn to trust you not because of grand gestures done occasionally, but because of small kindnesses offered repeatedly. Consistency creates security. When you keep your promises, show up when you say you will, follow through on what you commit to, people feel safe investing their trust in you. Reliability might not seem glamorous, but it is one of the most beautiful traits in the world. It tells others, "You matter to me, and you can depend on me." Understand, too, that not everyone expresses care in the same way. Some people speak directly, others show affection through actions rather than words. Some share their feelings freely, others reveal themselves slowly. By observing these differences with compassion rather than frustration, you allow each person to care for you in their own way. And when you adapt yourself to understand their language, instead of insisting they speak yours, you demonstrate flexibility and emotional generosity, qualities that make your presence comforting and enjoyable. Gratitude deepens connections in ways nothing else can. When someone does something kind, no matter how small, take a moment to acknowledge it. A sincere thank you carries more weight than most people realize. It affirms the value of their effort and encourages them to continue offering kindness. Expressing gratitude regularly acts like a bridge, making interactions warmer and relationships stronger. People are drawn to those who appreciate rather than take for granted. In building genuine relationships, remember to give people the benefit of the doubt. Assume good intentions unless proven otherwise. This simple mindset can prevent countless misunderstandings and hurt feelings. When you choose to believe that others mean well, you create an atmosphere of trust rather than suspicion. People rise or fall to the expectations placed upon them. When you extend trust generously, most people respond with sincerity and respect. There will be moments when someone disappoints you. This is natural and unavoidable. But instead of assuming the worst, consider asking questions before making judgments. A gentle inquiry, such as, "Is everything okay?" or "Did I misunderstand something?" can open the door to clarity. Many conflicts dissolve the moment two people stop assuming and start communicating. Patience again becomes your strongest ally. Equally important is the willingness to grow alongside those you care about. As time passes, people evolve. Their goals change, their interests shift, their priorities realign. Genuine relationships adapt to these changes rather than resisting them. Celebrate the growth of those you love, even if it means entering a new phase of the relationship. Encourage them to chase their dreams, even dreams that might take them farther from you. This kind of unselfish support is what transforms relationships from fragile connections into something enduring. Another powerful step in building meaningful connections is learning to see the best in people. Not an idealized fantasy, but the real strengths, hidden talents, and quiet virtues that they may not even see in themselves. When you highlight the good in someone, you don't just deepen your bond, you help them grow. You become part of their story, the person who saw potential when they doubted themselves. And people cherish those who believe in them. Building genuine relationships also requires you to manage your ego. Ego demands to win, to be praised, to be right, to be recognized. But relationships thrive when you focus less on being admired and more on making others feel valued. If you can set aside the need to dominate conversations, to take credit, or to showcase your achievements, you create space for others to shine. This humility strengthens your relationships and brings out the best in those around you. A warm sense of humor can also work wonders. Laughter lightens hearts, dissolves tension, and creates memories that linger long after the moment has passed. You don't need to be a comedian, Just be willing to enjoy the simple, humorous moments of life. When you laugh with others, not at them, you remind them that life doesn't always have to be serious. Shared laughter becomes a thread that ties people together. Time is one of the most precious gifts you can offer. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your undivided attention is a powerful act of respect. Whether it's a brief conversation or a long afternoon spent together, what matters is the quality of your presence. Put away your phone, let your mind quiet down, and focus on the person in front of you. They will feel the difference instantly. When you meet new people, approach them with a spirit of warmth rather than guardedness. A sincere smile, a kind word, an open posture can make all the difference. Many individuals go through their days without feeling truly seen. Your warmth may be the unexpected kindness they needed, and sometimes a simple, friendly encounter becomes the beginning of a relationship that lasts for years. Generosity also plays a role in deep connection. Not just generosity of things, but a spirit. Be generous with compliments, with encouragement, with patience, with forgiveness. Give these freely without expecting anything in return. People can always sense when generosity comes with strings attached, but they are deeply moved when it comes from the heart. In times of difficulty, genuine relationships show their true strength. When someone is facing hardship, it is tempting to pull back, unsure of what to say or do. But often, the most meaningful support is simply showing up. Offer a listening ear, bring a small gesture of comfort, or sit quietly beside them. You don't need perfect words, your presence is enough. In those moments, you demonstrate loyalty, and loyalty is the bedrock of lasting bonds. At the same time, it is important to give people room to breathe. Even the closest relationships need space. Respect their time, their boundaries, and their independence. Closeness grows stronger when it is balanced with freedom. Allow others to take time for themselves without feeling guilty or pressured. When people feel they can be both connected and independent, they relax into the relationship more fully. Another meaningful practice is learning to recognize when someone needs encouragement. Many people walk through life battling private doubts and hidden fears. A few simple words: I believe in you. You can do this. I'm proud of you, can shift the way they see themselves. These words cost nothing, yet their impact is immeasurable. By lifting others up, you create relationships rooted in empowerment rather than obligation. As you nurture genuine relationships, reflect on your own growth as well. Ask yourself, am I the kind of person others feel safe with? Do I listen more than I speak? Do I show appreciation freely? Do I offer forgiveness easily? Do others walk away from me feeling lighter, understood, or inspired? When you commit to becoming someone who elevates others, you naturally attract deeper and more meaningful connections. What makes relationships meaningful is rarely dramatic. It is found in the daily kindnesses, the quiet understanding, the shared laughter, the moments of patience and empathy. It is shaped by the honesty you practice, the gratitude you express, and the concern you show. It grows every time you choose compassion over criticism, curiosity over assumption, generosity over self interest. And as you move through the world remembering these principles, something remarkable happens. People begin to trust you, confide in you, and value your presence in their lives. They feel at ease around you, drawn not by charm or brilliance, but by the warmth and sincerity you bring. These are the relationships that enrich your days, strengthen your spirit, and leave a lasting imprint on the lives you touch. And so, as you continue onward, remember that the heart of every genuine relationship lies in the moments where humanity takes precedence over performance. Too often, people enter conversations thinking they must impress, persuade, or prove something. But the most magnetic individuals are those who make others feel comfortable simply being themselves. When you approach interactions with the intention of understanding rather than showcasing, you create an environment where authenticity becomes natural, even effortless. People gravitate toward those who make them feel unhurried. In a world of constant notifications and rushed exchanges, the rare gift is unbroken presence. When someone speaks, allow your mind to quiet. Listen not just for words, but for the emotions beneath them, the excitement, the fatigue, the hope, the uncertainty. This deeper kind of listening communicates that their thoughts matter and that their inner world is worth exploring. People remember how you make them feel, and feeling understood is among the deepest forms of connection. As you nurture relationships, be mindful of the difference between hearing and listening. Hearing takes no effort, it is passive and automatic. Listening requires choice, focus, and care. Listening means asking follow up questions, recalling past conversations, and showing that the person's life is part of your memory. It means resisting the urge to plan your response while they are still speaking. When you truly listen, you honor the other person's humanity, and that kind of honor builds trust that lasts. Another powerful yet gentle way to build sincere relationships is through encouragement. Encouragement has a way of breathing life into tired spirits. When you see someone struggling with self doubt, offer reassurance, not hollow praise, but genuine recognition of their strengths. Encourage them not only when they are winning, but especially when they feel they are failing. Tell them that you see their effort, their resilience, their caring nature, or their unique perspective. Real encouragement helps people rediscover their own courage. In your interactions, actively look for opportunities to highlight the strengths in others. Most people are painfully aware of their weaknesses, but often blind to their gifts. You can become a mirror that reflects back what is admirable in them. When you acknowledge someone's influence, kindness, creativity, or intelligence, you help them stand a little taller. And because your praise is sincere, not flattery, it becomes a source of nourishment rather than suspicion. Generosity of spirit builds bridges unlike anything else. Generosity does not always mean giving possessions or favors. Sometimes it means giving understanding when someone is short tempered, giving grace when someone disappoints you, or giving time when someone needs support. These small acts of emotional generosity communicate that the relationship is more important than your ego or comfort. And when people sense that they matter to you, they respond with warmth and loyalty. Equally important is the ability to express your own vulnerability. Many people hide their struggles, believing that revealing them will make them appear weak or burdensome. But vulnerability, when offered with sincerity, invites connection. When you say things like, I've felt that way too, or I'm not sure what the right answer is, but I'm here with you, you create a bond built on shared humanity. Vulnerability reminds others that they don't have to be perfect to be loved. There is also real strength in learning to apologize with humility and without justification. A genuine apology, simple, direct, sincere, can repair damage that would otherwise linger. When you say, I'm sorry, I should have handled that differently, you uphold the relationship above your pride. People trust those who acknowledge their mistakes because it signals a commitment to growth rather than defensiveness. And trust deepens every time honesty is paired with humility. At times, you will encounter people who are guarded, distant, or reluctant to open up. This does not mean they are uninterested or unkind. It may simply mean that life has taught them to be cautious. Approach these individuals with patience. Give them time. Show through consistent behavior that you are trustworthy. The slow unfolding of connection can be one of the most beautiful experiences, revealing layers of depth and character that hurried relationships never reach. To build meaningful bonds, practice being fully yourself. Authenticity is magnetic. When you are honest about your values, preferences, quirks, and hopes, you send an unspoken message that others can be honest too. Pretending, exaggerating, or masking your true thoughts may impress some people temporarily, but it prevents real closeness. Genuine relationships are built between real people, not performances. At the same time, strive to be curious rather than judgmental. Every person in your life has a unique blend of experiences, challenges, and dreams that shape who they are. When you judge them prematurely, you close the door to understanding. But when you approach them with curiosity, why do they think this way? What shaped this perspective? What matters most to them? You open the door to empathy. Curiosity softens differences, eases tension, and reveals the deeply human stories that connect us all. Humor can play a surprisingly profound role in forging relationships. Laughter breaks barriers, eases discomfort, and brings people closer without effort. Sharing a light, hearted moment reminds us that even amid life's seriousness, there is room for joy. A playful comment, a shared joke, a smile at the right moment can transform a simple interaction into a memorable connection. People cherish those who bring warmth and laughter into their lives. As you deepen relationships, Understand the delicate balance between giving and allowing others to give as well. Some people are natural givers. They listen, support, encourage, help uplift. But relationships become lopsided if you never allow others to give back. Part of building genuine bonds is accepting care, accepting help, accepting kindness. When you let others contribute to your well being, you show them that their presence and support have value. This creates equality and mutual respect within the relationship. Also, that communication forms the backbone of connection. Clear, considerate communication prevents misunderstandings and strengthens trust. Speak openly about what you appreciate, what bothers you, and what you need. Share your thoughts not with blame, but with clarity. And when someone else shares theirs, receive their words without defensiveness. Communication is not merely the exchange of information, it is the exchange of understanding. In every relationship, strive to create shared moments. These don't need to be grand experiences, small rituals can hold profound meaning. A regular walk, a shared meal, a recurring joke, a thoughtful message at the end of the day. These small touches become threads that weave together the fabric of connection. People often bond more through ordinary moments than extraordinary ones. To cultivate genuine relationships, embrace the art of slowing down. Slowness allows space for reflection, for tenderness, for deeper conversation. In rushed interactions, we skim the surface. In unhurried ones, we discover the richness of another person's inner world. Slow conversations create intimacy that cannot be manufactured. Be intentional about noticing when someone is carrying emotional weight. Many individuals hide their burdens behind practiced smiles or casual phrases. Pay attention to the tone in their voice, the hesitations in their words, the subtle changes in their behavior. Gently ask how they're doing. Even if they aren't ready to share, the simple act of asking lets them know they are seen and cared for. That awareness alone can bring comfort. One of the most transformative aspects of genuine relationships is the capacity to forgive. Not because someone deserves it, but because the relationship is worth more than the moment of hurt. Forgiveness frees both people. It allows the bond to heal rather than harden. It says, I value you more than this mistake. And that message can deepen trust in extraordinary ways. As you continue to build meaningful connections, notice how your own emotional habits influence the relationship. Are you quick to assume, or do you ask questions? Do you interrupt, or do you let people finish their thoughts? Do you withhold appreciation, or do you express it generously? Our habits shape how others experience us. When you cultivate habits of kindness, empathy, and patience, you naturally attract relationships that mirror those qualities. Another powerful way to foster connection is to show genuine interest in the passions of others. If someone loves music, ask about their favorite artists. If they adore cooking, ask what dish they're most proud of. If they're working toward a goal, ask how it's progressing. When people see your interest in what they love, they feel understood on a deeper level. Their passions are an expression of who they are, and acknowledging them is a way of honoring that identity. As relationships mature, be willing to adapt. People grow, circumstances shift, seasons of life change. The relationship that once centered on shared activities may evolve into one defined by emotional support or honest conversation. Adaptation allows the relationship to breathe. Rigidity suffocates connection, flexibility keeps it alive. Celebrate the quiet triumphs of the people in your life, the small wins, the incremental progress, the invisible victories. Many achievements go unnoticed by the world, but when you pay attention, you remind people that their efforts matter. You become a witness to their journey, and that role creates a bond of gratitude and trust. Offer compassion freely, especially when someone is going through a difficult season. Compassion is not pity but understanding. It does not say, you're weak, but rather, you're human and I'm with you. Compassion invites closeness. It reassures people that they don't have to hide their struggles to be worthy of care. In all of this, remember that relationships unfold over time. There is no shortcut to depth or authenticity. Trust grows slowly through repeated acts of kindness, through consistent presence, through shared experiences, through moments of vulnerability and understanding. Allow the process to unfold naturally. As you move through your days, seek opportunities to be a source of positivity, not through forced cheerfulness, but through genuine warmth. A kind greeting, a thoughtful message, a moment of encouragement, a simple acknowledgement of someone's effort. These gestures brighten the atmosphere around you. People gravitate toward those who bring light. Lastly, understand that genuine relationships are reciprocal gifts. When you invest in others with sincerity, patience, and compassion, you will find yourself surrounded by people who uplift, support, and care for you in return. These relationships become sources of strength in difficult times and joy in ordinary moments. They enrich your life in ways that status, possessions,
Mm.
or achievements never can. And in the end, remember that the true measure of your life will not be the titles you've earned, the milestones you've reached, or the applause you've gathered. It will be the people you uplifted, the hearts you touched, and the relationships you built with honesty and compassion. In a world that often rushes past what matters most, choose to slow down and truly see the people around you. Choose to listen, to care, to appreciate, to forgive, and to connect with sincerity. Because every warm word, every patient moment, every act of kindness plants seeds of trust that grow into relationships capable of transforming lives, yours included. When you lead with authenticity and treat every person as someone worthy of your full attention and respect, you don't just build relationships. You build a legacy of humanity, and there is no stronger, more enduring message you can leave behind.